The bomb has finally exploded at Red Bull, and what happened will shock you. Christian Horner, the man who led the team for 2 whole decades, has just been fired with immediate effect. And Max Verstappen's reaction? A message that is moving the world of Formula One and at the same time raising serious questions about the future of the category. Does this decision mark the end of Red Bull's golden era? Will Max jump ship? The answer will surprise you. To understand the magnitude of this bombshell, we need to go back in time and understand who Christian Horner really is. He wasn't just another team boss lost in the paddock. Horner was literally the architect of the most impressive transformation in the modern history of Formula One. From Red Bull's first day in the category, he was there, building brick by brick the empire we know today. 14 world titles won under his leadership are not just cold numbers on a spreadsheet. They are a reflection of a management that transformed Red Bull from a fledgling team that no one took seriously into an absolute powerhouse that dominated the category for years. And Max Verstappen knows this better than anyone in the paddock. From that thrilling first victory at the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix, when he was still a promising youngster, to the dramatic conquest of his first world title in Abu Dhabi in 2021, Horner has been present at every decisive moment of the Dutch driver's career. 4 consecutive titles between 2021 and 2024 don't happen by chance. They happen because there is solid leadership, strategic vision, and a partnership that works perfectly. That's why Verstappen's message on social media touched fans so much and left everyone with a lump in their throats. From my first race win to 4 world championships, we've shared incredible successes, Max wrote, winning memorable races and breaking countless records. Thank you for everything, Christian. Simple words, but loaded with emotion and genuine gratitude. But does this farewell hide something deeper? Because here's the crucial point that everyone needs to understand. This resignation didn't happen out of the blue. Red Bull is facing one of its worst performance crises in recent years. The team that used to dominate absolutely everything is now only 4th in the Constructors' Championship, no less than 288 points behind McLaren, which has shot into the lead. Max Verstappen, the 4-time world champion, is in 3rd place in the Drivers' Championship, 69 points behind Oscar Piastri. Imagine the pressure this puts on a team accustomed to always being at the top of the podium. And it doesn't stop there. Behind the scenes at Red Bull, there had been turmoil for a long time, with tensions that no one could have imagined. The relationship between Horner and Jos Verstappen, Max's father, has never been the most harmonious. This family tension created a complex political environment within the team, with the patriarch of the Verstappen family constantly questioning the team boss's decisions. Jos never hid his distrust of Horner's strategies, especially at crucial moments in races. And when you have the father of your lead driver working against you, the situation becomes untenable. In addition, Horner had to deal with allegations of inappropriate behavior made by a female team employee. Although these allegations were rejected after an internal investigation by Red Bull, the situation certainly tarnished the manager's image and created a climate of instability that an elite team cannot afford to maintain. The media pressure was intense, with specialist journalists questioning whether Horner would be able to maintain his authority after all this controversy. It was like trying to drive a car with the brakes cut. But the question that remains is, what impact will this change have on Max Verstappen's future? The Dutchman's contract with Red Bull runs until the end of 2028, but there is a performance clause that could allow him to leave early. And with Mercedes keeping a close eye on every move in the market, rumors of a possible transfer have already begun to circulate again. Toto Wolff, Mercedes' boss, has never hidden his interest in signing Verstappen. And now, with Horner's departure, that possibility becomes even more real and tempting. Mercedes is going through a transition period, seeking to regain its competitiveness lost in recent years, and having Max Verstappen would be exactly the boost they need to get back into the title fight. Imagine Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen on the same team. It would be the dream of any Formula One fan or the nightmare of all other teams. Laurent Mekies, who had been running Racing Bulls since 2024, now takes over as the new CEO of Red Bull Racing. It is an internal promotion that shows the company's confidence in its own structures, but it also represents a huge challenge. Mekies will have to deal with the pressure of keeping Max Verstappen happy, regaining lost competitiveness, and managing the expectations of a team accustomed to winning everything. Mekies' track record is respectable. He spent time at Ferrari as sporting director before taking over at Racing Bulls, and he knows the challenges of managing a top Formula One team well. But Red Bull is a completely different level of pressure and expectation. The timing of this dismissal is revealing and worrying. We are talking about a decision made in the midst of a crisis of results, with the season still underway and the pressure mounting with every race. This is not a change planned for the end of the season. It is a desperate measure to try to reverse a situation that was spiraling out of control. And desperate measures rarely bring positive results in the world of Formula One. The truth is that Red Bull is at a historic crossroads. They may be able to reinvent themselves under new leadership and return to fighting for titles, or they may enter a period of instability that could prove very costly. And Max Verstappen, who has always been loyal to the team that made him a champion, now has to decide whether he trusts this new structure or whether it is time to seek new challenges. The history of Formula One is full of examples of leadership changes that have completely transformed the fate of teams. When Ron Dennis left McLaren, the team was never the same again. When Jean Todt left Ferrari, it took years for the Italian team to reorganize. Will Red Bull be able to avoid this fate? Another important factor is the psychological impact of this change on the team's mechanics and engineers. Horner was not just a boss, he was a father figure to many employees who grew professionally under his leadership. This break could lead to an exodus of talent that would be devastating for the team's competitiveness. And there is another issue that few are discussing: the financial impact of this decision. Firing a team boss with Horner's track record certainly cost a fortune in severance pay and settlements. The coming months will be decisive for the future of Red Bull. If Mekies manages to maintain team stability and Max Verstappen decides to stay, perhaps this change will be seen as a necessary evil. But if the situation continues to deteriorate, this dismissal may be remembered as the moment when Red Bull's golden era came to an end. Verstappen's message of thanks to Horner may have been just a gesture of courtesy, but it could also be interpreted as a symbolic farewell to an era that brought unimaginable glory, but one that may have come to an end at the right time, before the problems became even bigger. What do you think? Can Red Bull reinvent itself without Christian Horner, or does this resignation mark the beginning of the end of the team's golden era? And Max Verstappen, will he stay, or is it finally time to seek new horizons at Mercedes? Leave your opinions in the comments, because this story is far from over. Click on the video appearing on your screen, because there I'll tell you how this other bombshell in Formula One could change everything behind the scenes in the coming seasons.